Hi there, this is Brad Reese, and I'm going to do a little quick tutorial for you on EQing vocals. Now, this is the way we use a graphic equalizer, or a parametric equalizer in this case, to adjust the high and low and mid frequencies of a singer. And for recording purposes, we don't want to have any particular vocal track to be too unique, to have too many resonances or too many peculiarities to their sound that it affects the blend with other vocals. So I've got a pop vocal here, one of my former students singing on this, and we're going to EQ her. So,
don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me.
now the first thing I'm going to do is what is called a high pass filter, which is a low cut. We're going to cut the low frequencies out. We're only going to let the high frequencies pass through. That's why it's called high pass. There's no information down there that we need. She's a female vocalist. There's no low frequencies in her voice, and the only low frequencies that are there are probably breath noise, which we don't need, which you probably hear in my vocal, since I am not using a low pass currently on the mic that I'm speaking in. So, putting that low pass in there, the high pass in there.
Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean.
Put it about there where you just really can't tell that it affects her voice any. So we've done that. That's the first thing. Next thing we will do is we will listen for resonances at different frequencies. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to grab a section of the frequency spectrum, and just a fairly narrow section, and I'm going to sweep it up and down. And so this is turning up just those frequencies. So when I'm here above 500 hertz, I will just be turning up that area of her voice. And you'll hear the resonance of her voice, you'll hear the resonance of the microphone, and you'll even hear the resonance of the room. And so every track is unique, because every track is a different person and a different microphone in a different room. So if you are EQing vocals, say in a virtual choir where you have a lot of different voices with very different microphones in very different rooms, EQ is very important, because you want to take away the peculiarities of every track and even them out, equalize them with your equalizer. So here we go. We're going to listen to Kate B some more here.
Don't you come here thinking you're ballin',
And if we turn up these
ain't on for
frequencies,
it.
you'll hear these
You
resonances.
seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean and the way that you kiss your teeth. And you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me.
So what we're going to do is we're going to find the most obvious ugly spots, if you want to think of it that way, and then we're going to get rid of them just a little bit. We're going to turn them down just a little bit.
Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean and the way that you kiss your teeth.
Now when she's in her lower register, there's something here around between 300 and 350 that really kind of jumps out.
And you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me. Don't you come here
Knock that one down a little bit. We're going to find the next one. Now what I'm doing here with this Q is simply the width of the peak that we're dealing with. And with a parametric EQ, you can make very broad adjustments, or you can make really narrow adjustments and notch out teeny tiny chunks of frequency. We're going to go kind of halfway in between here.
thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean and the way that you kiss your teeth.
There's the second one we just notched out. Now the other thing is the speakers that I'm using, which are probably different than the speakers that you're listening on. So you may hear different resonances because you're listening on little earbuds, or you're listening on your phone speakers or crappy computer speakers or whatever. So if you're going to do professional equalizing, you're going to want to be using good pair of monitors, which I am currently not using. I'm using mediocre studio headphones right now. So.
And you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me. Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it.
I feel like this whole area in here is kind of not digging on. So I'm going to make this Q a little wider. Make the Q, widen that thing, make the Q smaller, which makes the width bigger.
You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean.
Now, I'm not going to take it down as much because if you have a wider swath of frequencies, you got to be a little more subtle. So next one. Where the heck? There we go. Doing this with my mouse. I'm not used to that.
And the way that you kiss your teeth, and you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me. Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it.
All right, there's one here around 2K that I don't like, but I'm going to keep looking and then make a judgment which one's worse.
You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean, and the way that you kiss your teeth, and you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to
Another one up here around 3.5K.
me. Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me.
And up here, there's another one around 10K, which I find kind of harsh. I'm going to choose that one because I'm also thinking ahead here a little bit. I'm going to do, now generally you see we've used equalization to reduce things, to subtract things. That is a better way of using EQ than adding things, but you can also add things. So I'm going to use the EQ to very subtly add a little bit of brightness, except at that notch that we took out.
I can tell by the way that you lean, and the way that you kiss your teeth, and you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me. Don't you come here thinking you're ballin', ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me. I can tell by the way that you lean, and the way that you kiss your teeth, and you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me.
There I've created a little shelf at about 4.5K, and above that point I've raised it kind of significantly, probably a little too much. If I do that with a lot of vocal tracks together, it'll start getting ugly. So minor adjustment here is an increase, more significant adjustments and decreases, and gotten rid of the resonant places in her voice in that microphone in that room. And now we're going to turn it on and off so you can hear the difference. Here's with the EQ off.
Don't you come here thinking you're ballin',
and the EQ on.
Ain't on for it. You seem like trouble to me.
EQ off.
I can tell by the way that you lean, and the way that you kiss your teeth,
EQ on.
and you turn up so fresh and clean, smells like trouble to me.
Now, we have made it sound clearer and less muddy by taking away the mud rather than by adding a lot of clarity or brightness or anything. So, there you go. That was a very overly simplistic EQ demonstration. I hope that was helpful, and we'll do this better next time. Thanks.